Hey, you ready?
Okay.
You ready?
Already.
Ready. All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Sunday edition of a Morning
Go.
Scone, presented by Brock.
Coffee.
Brock.
Coffee.
And coffee. This Sunday morning Scone is brought to you by coffee. I don't think Brock would mind sharing the limelight for one day. Because Lord knows Daddy needs that coffee today, huh, bud? Huh? Because somebody decided he was going to get up at 2:30 in the morning, and then again at 6:30. Toot.
Elevator.
Elevator indeed. Let's see. Hope y'all are having a great weekend so far. What a weekend for LSU sports, man. It's been awesome all the way around. For baseball's 1-2, basketball got and then Elmo Chicken. Basketball got a massive win in OT yesterday. Nick Torino, what's up? Softball's had a great weekend. Gymnastics won on Friday. What an awesome weekend for LSU sports.
Hello.
Hello, are you playing on the phone? Are you playing on? He's got the phone. He just ran it. Oh gosh, he's a mess. Okay. Okay. Sorry, y'all. So I don't have my. I think I mentioned this yesterday on the show. I don't have my tripod, which I normally have for my phone. So it's leaning up on a box and leaning against a candle. So Drew is walking around with a phone, going, "Hey-yo," and just pushing buttons on the landline. I hope he doesn't call like Indonesia or something. Trivia Carter, good morning. Nick Torino, good morning. Ty Levine, good morning. Everett Email, good morning. Russell Hull, good morning. Mark Allen, Rusty Senatol, Jeremy Johnson. Hope y'all having a good one so far. Trey Dykes, what's up? Justin Reyes, morning Drew, created by Scone, sponsored by Brock. All sounds good to me. Todd Dupuy, Justin Jones, what's up? Josh Gravois, Will Wade is the basketball Saban. I will say that I've made that comparison for more than a year now, as far as his attention to detail. We'll see if he could, if he can replicate the results over a long enough period of time. But it feels like you got a young guy that's passionate about recruiting, that's got a ton of energy, that knows the game, can coach at X's and O's, hire good staff. I mean, you that's a great hire. It so is. We can talk about the game yesterday. Rodney Njoka, good morning. Todd Dupuy, David Furr, good morning, Matt and Drew. Bet you wouldn't have bet Marshall Graves would outscore Naz and Tremont. No, I would have never bet that. I'm sure a lot of people ask about Tremont. I don't know what's going on. I heard 3 different things yesterday. When the news broke that he wasn't going to play, I heard 3 different things. All from people that I would trust. You know what I mean? Not just like, hey, I heard. One was that he had a concussion. And they labeled it illness because if you have concussion, you could potentially be out longer, which makes sense. 2 is flu. He had the flu and was getting IVs and just doctors wouldn't clear him to play. And 3, which I'm not sure I believe at all, but 3 is the friction with Wade and in Tremont, and Tremont's dad is kind of he's Baton Rouge's version of LeVar Ball, which is a terrible comparison. But anyway, my point is, I don't know what to believe. That's what everybody's saying. We'll find out on Tuesday if he's out there against Texas A&M. I hope he is. But in his absence, man, what about Javonte Smart, man? I mean, he. One of the reasons I think he probably played with a little more reckless abandon. Well, 2 things actually. Number 1, LSU only turned the ball over 7 times the entire game. That's really, it's part of what they want. LSU won the game because they didn't turn it over and they made free throws. That's why they won the game. They shot 38% from the field. They shot 32% from three. Tennessee out-rebounded them. I mean, everything on the stat sheet tilted to Tennessee, except LSU had 7 turnovers in the whole game, and they made 24 free throws. That's why they won. So, do what you do well. Attack the basket, go. But how about Javonte? It feels so good for Javonte to be able to come in and have a day like that on national TV against a top 5 team. So we'll talk about all of it. Baseball won last night, 17-7. They beat Bryant. His baseball team they're playing is terrible. I mean, I'm trying to watch to glean certain things. Like Beloso got the start last night as a lefty against a lefty from Bryant. It was nice to see Duplantis got 3 more hits, so he kind of creeps closer to Furness's record. Marceau was good early. He gave up 1 bomb, but it was kind of like they got up 11-1, and it was almost as if Maneiro said, "Hey, just those strikes. Like, just let him hit it. Let's get out of here." You know, because odds are they'll hit it at people, and they put together a 4-run in against him, and I don't really put too much stock into it, but I mean, Bryant is so bad. There was a play last night. LSU pops it up to center, and so their shortstop is retreating into center field. Center fielder's coming on, and that's 100% the center fielder's ball. And the center field, there's no communication, and the ball just drops right between the two of them as the shortstop's going back, and it just drops. It's standing right there. I forget who it was. Somebody hit a chopper to third. I don't remember who it was. Hit a chopper to third, and this would end the inning. And the third baseman making the transfer, glove to hand, just drops the ball. Run scores, inning continues. It's like they are awful. Bryant is this is a terrible baseball team that LSU is playing right now. Anyway, Don Jolibois, good morning. Bob Poole boot up. Indeed, Justin had my heart racing at the end of the game. Boot up. I tell y'all what, man. In overtime, when Grant Williams made the layup and got the and one, I was pretty devastated. I thought that was it. And LSU had consecutive possessions with the lead and a chance to make it a 2-score lead, and they came up empty on both possessions. One was a Javonte turnover, but when Grant Williams got the and one, I was like, that's it. And I'll be darned, Tigers made it happen, man. It was awesome. It was awesome. You want Willie fast? Willie fast. Okay. Hang on, I'll be right back. Well, let's see. Lauren Anderson, good morning. Courtney Storer, good morning from Lake Charles. How about our teams go Tigers? Really good weekend for LSU, man. Don't forget about Mondo. So Robert Booth said, don't forget about Mondo. You know what's interesting about Mondo? I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday here, but I think I was at Williamson Eye Center yesterday morning. I mentioned that we went to did a shoot with Dr. Blake Williamson over there, and Warren Morris and Devin White. Some cool. So it'll be fun. Y'all get to see the commercials coming soon. You know, the conversation. It was pretty fun. And they were talking about Mondo, and I said, man, why do people care so much about Mondo? And it's not. I mean, it's amazing. Don't get me wrong. Like, guy's pole vaulting 19 feet. It's incredible. Like, it's remarkable. The guy set the NCAA record. It's a remarkable thing. So I'm not saying that in any way. But LSU over the years has had tons of track and field athletes that have been Olympians and record holders. Like, why all of a sudden do we care about the pole vaulter kid? I mean, is it just because it's Antoine's brother and we've heard about him for a while? I mean, is that it? Isn't that weird? Just things I think about. Bruce Moberly, good morning. Nathan DeMoss, good morning. Douglas Duhan, good morning. David Furr, love Smart's game. He's not afraid to take control. Hit some big shots already for us this year. Remember, he's the one who was throwing daggers in overtime against Missouri. He hit 2 threes against Missouri in that comeback game. He's not afraid, and that's probably his best trait. It's also at times his biggest flaw because he will do things that maybe aren't the wisest, but you can tell, man, he can score, he can get to the rim and finish. He's not a great set shooter, but he can get to the goal and finish. So can Skylar. I mean, they're fun. Leroy, good morning. Justin Reyes, good morning. Casey Landrum, oh golly, these are going fast now. Sorry. Justin, how serious is the Rashard Lawrence situation? Not very. I think it's very common for guys to have touch-up procedures this time of year, and you don't need veterans going through spring, so I don't think it's serious at all. Jerry Spurgeon, good morning. Brandon Lejeune, good morning. Jeremy Aldridge, David Childers. Hey, Cheryl, good morning. Brandon, Javante was an absolute assassin, huge. Brandon, you and I had some conversations early in the season about Javante. Bruce Parker, Andrew Bayer, good morning. Johnny Clark, what's up? Russell Hull, if there's a Will, there's a Wade. Shannon Doiga, good morning. All right, Mark Allen, Reed only scoring 1, no Waters. We beat them in OT. I'll take it. That's sensational. And you can tell in the first half. And so, full disclosure, I was leaving Williamson a couple of minutes after tip. So I got in the car, and it was 7-3 Tennessee. So I missed Nas's early foul. Because we finished up our shooting, and then you're filming, and then I got in the car. But Wade said at halftime, their objective with Tremont out was they were going to run the offense through Nas, and then that option wasn't there, and it was clear it's what they were trying to do in the second half. I mean, first possession of the second half, they inbound the ball, and the whole offense just shifts to the right side of the court, and Nas is sitting there on the left low, blocked by himself. They throw it into him. It's like, go make a move, and he missed. He just wasn't great, but other guys stepped up, which was awesome to see, man. Hi. Big Block. You can see Big Block when Mommy wakes up. You can see Brad Saunier, the guys that worked the hardest yesterday with guys mopping up the sweat. Now, hold on. Said Tennessee flopped more than any team I've ever seen. Now, that's not true. But it is worth noting in this conversation that the SEC and college basketball in general has a problem on its hand with replay. Hey buddy, I am as pro replay a guy as you'll find anywhere in the world. I'm about getting the call right. But what happened at the end of that game yesterday was, you okay? You want to stop your food for a second? Come see. Hang on, let's stop your food for a second. Come see. You don't need that this morning. No sir, no sir. Pause your food. Like 10 minutes, okay? We'll restart it later. Okay? Okay. Bless you. You can watch Big Black when Mommy wakes up. What happened at the end of the game was abysmal. Like to go to the monitor 3 or 4 times in the final minute is, and you're literally talking about the one call where the ball bounced inbounds and then out, and they're trying to get the correct time. You're talking about a tenth of a second. There was an out-of-bounds play under the Tennessee basket where Emmett, I think it was Schofield, were battling for a ball. It went off Schofield. They ruled it off a Schofield LSU ball, and they go and review it. The block call where they went to go review if the Tennessee player was in the circle when they called the foul, like Bob was choosing on the broadcast, is like, why didn't you just call the foul? I'm like, we did. Well, then what are you looking at? Like, what does it matter if he's in the circle or not? You called the block. Like, I am now more than ever 100% in favor of an official on a field or court never going to review. It has to either be a challenge or something from someone in a centralized replay office that noticed something and they called buzz down like, hey, you got that wrong, fix it. Like, for in the final minute of that game to keep going to and you had national media members that were like mocking it on Twitter, and justifiably so. That was terrible. Kevin Harrell, good morning. Carlton Cisco, good morning. Ben Clark, good morning. Let's see, Justin Bryant. God dog it. Y'all's comments coming fast this morning, y'all. Bryant is so bad they did a pitch. Oh, God, that was the other one. They did a pitch out. The catcher missed it. They call a pitch out. And it wasn't just that he missed it. They called the pitch out, and the ball was like down around his feet. God, this team is so bad. Did you see the play in center? Base hit into center field. Center fielder's charging. He just doesn't get his glove down. Ball goes all the way to the wall. I mean, it wasn't like it was a hard shot. It was a base hit into center. Oh, my God. Bryant sucks, y'all. They're terrible. Brady Beacom, Ryan Shalesi, good morning. Gavin Blanchard, what's up? Charlie Gale. Brian asks, any ideas on the Mondo drinking game? I don't have any, but if there is an official one, please let me know, because Blair and Duggar last night were in on it. They were all about the Mondo drinking game. Hey, Dad, good morning. Matt Smith, good morning. Let's see, Casey Landrum. Very little intensity from the baseball team last night. Not that they needed much. So I'll put it to you this way. Oh, by the way, please hit the share if y'all would. That's a big help as always. If you'd share the show, hit the share button, likes, shares, that all helps. The little thumbs up and the hearts and all that. So all those impressions matter tremendously. So if you could do that, that's a big help. So thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the share button too. Hopefully y'all will join me in doing as such. Okay, thank you. That's always very affirming whenever I ask for that, and then I see a little thumbs up and stuff. And then there's like the random guy making the smile or the sad face, like with the little tear. Thank you very much. So Casey, once LSU got up 11-1 in that ball game, like in the third inning, it was like, all right, let's just get through it. I mean, really, and you could tell that was the approach. They made wholesale changes. They put Chris Reed in the fourth inning at shortstop for in the infield, pulled Josh Smith in the fourth inning. You had to see a lot of DiGiacomo in center. Mathis hit a home run last night. He hit the crap out of him, too. That was nice to see him, get a hold of one. Anyway, so, Casey, you're right. There wasn't much intensity, but what do you expect, man? It's the same, it's kind of, y'all are still going with the thumbs up. That's really cool. Thank you. It's the same mindset of like when you got a football, like you're playing an FCS school in week 12, in football. The week after Bama, you're playing an FCS school. Like, okay, it's just not going to go great. LSU playing Rice this year in Tiger Stadium. What do you expect? It's going to be different. So I'm not too bummed about it. David Billio. Matt, I tweeted at you yesterday about Marson Hill's ages and the 2 or 3 years thing that I asked about during the week. They're both 3-year guys. That's good to know. Good to know. Thank you. Jeb Bruno, good morning. Brady Beacom, boot up. Brian, didn't take long, but I think Beloso took the job from Bianco. For now, he's got it. I mean, Maneri, and I'm glad that he started him yesterday because I wanted to see Beloso hit against a lefty. And the lefty from Bryant didn't even get out of the second inning. So it's not like you got to see him have a full game of at-bats against the lefty. But I'm all for that. Beloso is not, it's not even close. Big Block.
Okay.
When Mommy wakes up, you can watch Big Block on Mommy's phone. Okay? Defensively, it's not even close. Belosso's the better hitter, or the better defender at first base. And Belosso's hitting right now. He's hitting to all fields, too. That just doesn't even really feel like it's much of a competition. So, see what Maneri does today. And look, that's subject to change. You know, if Beloso goes into the deep freeze, they may give Bianco another chance. And this is what Maneri does this time of year, though. He wants to get guys at bats. He wants to get them playing time. He tinkers with his lineup. I like what he did yesterday. He moved Broussard in Friday. Did move Broussard to the 9-hole. Yesterday they batted Watson in the 2-hole to kind of get him going, and he got a couple of hits. I mean, it worked. You know, banged one off the wall. So you know, I'm good with it. I would rather that. I'd rather go Smith, Watson, Duplantis, Cabrera, Garza, and have Brant Broussard in the 9-hole, so you have some production at the bottom of your lineup. I talked about that the opening weekend, and so here you go. You see it now. It's like that's what Paul's going to do. He's just going to move the pieces around the chessboard to see. You know, to see how it fits best. That's just what he's going to do, and it's what he always does. You know, they'll win today because Bryant's terrible. We'll get to see Jaden Hill again, which will be fun. But then, you know, next weekend they go to Texas, and it'll be a little bit stiffer test. You go on the road for the first time. You get to play a perennial power. So it'll be fun. See what they got. Jennifer Bunnell, good morning. Pete Giardino. Bryant is more of an academic school. Tim Henderson, let's go. Matt, still fired up from yesterday. Yeah, man. The win was awesome. The fact that they're tied for first now and hold the tiebreaker over Tennessee and Kentucky is awesome, because they got A&M and Vanderbilt at home, and then they got to go to Bama and to Florida. Those 2 road games are danger spots. You know, LSU, I've talked about this all year. LSU basketball, for whatever reason, has struggled at Coleman Coliseum over the years. For whatever reason. But the number is, they're like 13, they're like 2-13 in their last 15 or something like that. They've struggled at Coleman Coliseum. And then playing at the O'Connell Center is always tough, so got to take care of business. But LSU's undefeated on the road. They've been awesome on the road. So go win 2 more, and you're going to win the conference.
Big Block.
Hi, Big Block. Hey, listen, when Mommy wakes up, you can watch Big Block. Okay. Hey, come see. I need to start your food again. Hey, Drew. Drew, come. Yeah. Look at my boy. You did so good. Yay. Wait, come see. I have to start your backpack. My boy. I'm so proud of you. You did awesome with that, Drew. Very good, bud. Okay, start your food again. Okay, go watch your show. Big Block. Okay. Again, shout out to Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. They are tagged in this post. If you could like Brock, their page, that would be awesome when we're done here. Or the other thing too, or right now if you want to. The other thing too, also, Jordy and I did sort of an abbreviated, impromptu whiskey and wine for basketball yesterday. Let us know if you like that, if you enjoyed it, how often you want us, like, is just the weekend games. You know, do you want to see it in the midweek game? What do you want for baseball? Like, we're going through all that right now. Like, I don't know that it's realistic to do a whiskey and wine after 56 baseball games or 50 baseball games now. But do we do the weekend series, you know, like Sunday after the weekend series ends? But then, like, what if you have, like, a dramatic walk-off on a Friday night and people are buzzing? Shouldn't we do it then? You know what I mean? So we're trying to... I don't know that we have a great answer yet. We're both willing to do it. And we have a lot of people that are interested in it. It's just a matter of how we execute it. So give me some feedback on that if y'all would. Either here or send me messages or tweet me or something like that. And any feedback is appreciated. So let's see. Who loves short shorts? Smart loves short shorts. Jimmy Vadrine, good morning. See, David. Bryant actually is a pretty good baseball program. They did well in Division II, moved up a few years ago. Big adjustment. Jesse Haydell. Gosh, man, it's going fast now. Sometimes they just come in a hurry. Taylor Kale, Robert Barlow, good morning. Big Block. When Mommy wakes up, you can see Big Block. Hard pressed to find a basketball player that has improved as much as Skylar since skating on campus. That's fair, and I hope he stays another year, especially if Tremont goes pro. To have Javante and Skylar next year would be awesome. Nas getting caught up in the fouls and double. Man, they're going up. Let's see. Brandon, LOL at our early in the season Javante comments. Our? I was the one telling you I thought Javante was better handling the ball than Tremont, bro. Come on now. Let's see. Troy LaBeouf, good morning. Tim Henderson, Matt, you can't use the replay as a crutch. I agree. Yeah, I'm with you. Like, that's my point with replay. Make your call and roll with it. Like, that's the problem. Is they're using it as a crutch during the game. You trust your instinct. Make your call. Roll with it. If there's something egregious, let someone in the command center go, hey, hold up. You missed that one. Cool. Or let a coach challenge it. Cool. There's ways to do it. But letting those guys go to the monitor as much as they did was just awful. Trey Warren, what's up? Chris Porsche, what's up? Casey Rodriguez said, I hope Will Wade doesn't leave for the Dolphins. Adrian Smith, just joined. Anything said about Waters' illness or what it was? I've heard flu, I've heard concussion, I've heard suspension. I heard all three. So, Will Wade said, they were talking to him in shoot around and he wanted to go. So that certainly doesn't sound like a suspension to me. So that speculation I think is bogus. Did he have the flu? Did he have a concussion? I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out on Tuesday because if either of those are the issue and it lingers, we'll know. Troy Henderson, when the ref goes to report the ruling and the guy on the sideline is mad at you, it's inexcusable. That's true. And Bob Wischusen yesterday, challenged on national TV. He was like, well, why didn't you just call the foul? I was like, we did. Then why are you reviewing it? Anyway, Paul Melanson, let's see. Mike Dickinson, good morning. Tim, the block charge is reviewable now. If called a charge, they can change the block to if it was in the circle, I believe. Right. So, but they called the blocking foul. It's just, anyway, it was absurd. The whole end of that game was absurd. Ben Giat, good morning. The pitch out was almost a strike. It's true. When Bryant threw, they attempted a pitch out, and the pitch came back inside near the plate and went to the backstop. Troy Henderson, people love Mondo for the same reason people started casually paying attention to Baylor women's basketball. If you're talking about LSU fans didn't pay attention to Baylor women's basketball. I mean, Kim Mulkey had already won national championships at Baylor before Kramer showed up. So I don't think that's necessarily a fair comp. The family stuff, for sure, like Kim Mulkey is Kramer's mom, and, McKenna Kelly's mom is Mary Lou Retton, and all that's, all that's valid. Anyway, but I don't see the Baylor basketball comp. I don't think people started paying attention to Baylor basketball around here because Kramer's mom was the coach. Michael Costello, Scott Matthews, what's up? Let's see, they're going to have to do something about the beer tents. When SEC play starts, is not going to be able to accommodate anyone. That's some interesting feedback. So I haven't been yet, but I know after the very first game, the left field, the yard in left field, they expanded it. They realized that the man, and of course, it's like especially now when it's cold and could be a little rainy, people can go get some shelter and drink a beer or a glass of wine. Yeah. Or this has been my point all along. When it's 90 degrees in May and people are baking and you can go catch a couple innings and get some shade and have a few beers, like, okay. I mean, like, everybody's going to do that. Not everybody, but yeah, you're going to need more than a 10 by 20 tent, for sure. I still prefer to bring my own flask in. Mike Sylvester, good morning. Carly Cat, what's up? David, I liked watching at the 2-hole. We'll let him see better pitches with Duplantis and Cabrera behind him. And Smith in front of him. I mean, it's a pick your poison type thing. There's no question. You need to get Dickie V to the anti-aging clinic. Rocco, what's up, man? The Def Dome was rocking. Haven't seen it like that since Shaq and Leitner game in the 90s. Refs were awful. SEC seems like they have the worst in college. Something needs to be done. It only seems like that, Rocco, because you don't watch other conferences, but like you do realize that the Pac-12 football officials right now are like under investigation because of the executive influencing a review last year in the Pac-12. Like, they're all bad. That's the like, you think yours are the worst because you watch them all the time and you see how bad they are. But believe me, everybody's are bad. Like, officials are just not good at their job. This is my point on, like, I'm not saying they don't try hard. I certainly don't believe that there's any bias or intent of wrongdoing. I just think they're not good. It's an almost impossible job. You have massive humans at doing incredible athletic things at such a rapid pace, and you expect these like 4 or 5 guys on the field to maintain like order and never miss a call. It's just not real. Like, they're just not good. Like, you can't do it. So, 100 years ago, when you didn't have cameras and games weren't televised, like, okay, just let them ref it, and you realize they're going to make some mistakes. But it's just, the stakes are too high now. Yeah, there's too much money in it. There's cameras everywhere, so we can see every angle. Like, there's just a better way. There's a better way to measure a first down than linking 10 yards of chains between 2 poles and having these idiots like bring up. It's that much. Really? Is it that much? I mean, give me a break, man. Put a laser on that thing. Like, if we could put a line on the field, if TV can put a line on the field, like, and you could put this green zone. Tennis has these overhead shots that they can instantly tell if a ball was in or out on the line. Like, technology's good enough. I don't need like a penguin looking man trotting out onto the field, stopping the game to like, hold on, stretch the stick. Let me get an index card and put it between the. It's 2019, y'all. Come on. Anyway, Joe Cunningham, Jackie Caruso, good morning. Irfan, good morning. Casey, we're going to see Tennessee, Kentucky again soon, and hopefully so, because that's one of the things Jerry Palm said. Like, if LSU wanted to increase their seeding, to jump ahead of the because he said LSU's at the bottom of the 3 seeds.
To you, happy birthday.
To you, happy birthday, dear. Who?
Elmo.
Elmo, happy birthday, dear Elmo. All done.
Grammy.
Happy birthday, dear Grammy. Grammy would be so happy to hear you say that.
Mommy.
Grammy loves you.
Grammy Gramps.
Grammy and Gramps. Grammy and Gramps love you. Grammy and Gramps is my grandparents. His great-grandparents.
Mommy car.
Mommy does have a car. Very good, Drew. It's a cold hard fact is what that is. And Mommy, you can watch Big Block on Mommy's phone. Yep, when Mommy wakes up. Anyway, one of the things Jerry Palm was saying was because I asked him, what does LSU have to do to be a 1 seed? You know, if they win out, could they be a 1? It's like, maybe, but they'd have to beat Tennessee and or Kentucky or both again, which you could do in the SEC tournament. So, I mean, ideally, that's what they'd have to do. They'd have to win out, win the SEC tournament, and beat Kentucky and Tennessee both again along the way. And then you'd be in the conversation for it. Let's see. Lonnie Terrell, good morning. Tim Henderson, enjoyed whiskey and wine. I would save it for big games or reaction games. Play it by ear. Tim, the tough part about, and I'm with you on that, the tough part about it is if you try to get it sponsored, it's hard. It's hard to play that by ear, right? So it's better whenever, like if we know we're doing, like for football, we know we're doing whiskey and wine on Saturday. As soon as the clock hits 0, you can promote it, tell people to expect it. You have build up for it. And you have time to sell it. I guess the one alternative would be if we just sold like, say like a package of 5 games. So it's going to be our discretion. Or we pick the games we think, see, it's not an easy thing to do. It's why we're kind of vacillating. But yesterday we didn't even do it until like 2 hours after the game, and fired it up. And I looked at like 3,500 views on it. I mean, for basketball on a Saturday where we had 0 promotion and started it 2 hours after the game, I mean, it popped, So with the right promotion, I think basketball could be great. People are so excited about this basketball team. It goes to show you, like, people want this basketball team to be good. As collectively as a fan base, everyone got really apathetic for a long time just because they were bad for so long, and it was just a little hopeless. But it goes to show you, man, you put 13,000 people in that building, people go nuts for it, and students will camp out, and it's like people want LSU basketball. Like, you want it to be good, you want it to be relevant. It's fun when it is, man. It's good to see. Let's see. Noah, good morning, Matt and Drew. What do you think about the matchups? Javonte starting, Tremont coming off the bench. I don't think you're going to see that. I'm pumped for Javonte. I was very excited for him yesterday. Feel good for that kid to have the day he did. Skyler too, for that matter. Because I'll tell you, look, I picked LSU to win the game, and when I saw Tremont wasn't playing, I tweeted, hey, can I change my pick? I mean, your leading scorer, SEC's leader in steals, 3rd in assists, 8th in scoring. I mean, you took a huge piece off the floor for LSU yesterday. And they still won. I mean, I feel great for Javonte. I also don't think it's a coincidence that without Tremont, you saw the turnover numbers go way, way down. 7 turnovers in 45 minutes is awesome. I'll take that every time. Let's see. Janet, so who scored first? Didn't get to watch. Javonte was leading scorer. Skylar May scored 20. I think Javonte had 29. Skylar had 20 or 21. Who fast?
Kind fast.
Okay. Oh, kind fast. Okay, here we go. Kind. Thank you for asking. There you go. You did so much better asking instead of just like screaming like. Let's see. Brian Robert, you mentioned on AFR planning a North Shore beer tour. Went to Gnarly Barley yesterday for Gnarly Gras. Nice. I missed the rest of that comment. But yeah, I think we are going to do Gnarly Barley. It's going to be one of them. Chuck Sanchez, good morning. Carl the Cat, Derek Hudnall, what's up? Brandon, postgame Wade said it wasn't feeling well previous game, didn't tell anyone. For sure. Talking about Tremont, yeah. And it would make sense because he played poorly against Florida. Chris Robert, Todd Boudreaux. I don't think it. I would be surprised if it was more than that. David, will you be at the baseball game today, Matt? I will not. So, I mean, as many of y'all know, Drew's nap schedule kind of like he goes down for his nap around 3:30. So we kind of plan our days around that. So to get to the baseball game for 2 wouldn't really make sense to go and come back to get him down. And anyway. And then when he's down, that's when we try to get a lot of stuff done around the house because we don't have to be locked in there. We tag team it a lot. So, like, she sleeps right. Like, she got up with him in the middle of the night. I got up with him at 6:30 so she could sleep. and then I'll run around with him a little bit, and then like we'll go to church, and then Eric will probably go run some errands. Well, I'll watch the beginning of the game with him. We'll put him down for anyway. You see, it's a lot of that. John Boudreaux, Steve Easterling, good morning. Bo Carter, haven't watched a lot of basketball this year. Do they use replay as much as they did yesterday at most of the games? Replays got ridiculous in basketball because there doesn't seem to be any structure. It's just they can walk over to the monitor and take a look, and it kills the pace of play, and it's awful. And basketball is a sport probably more than any other where pace of play matters. So, anyway, that was terrible. Anybody who watched it would recognize that was terrible. Juan Jacoby, as we stand, do you think we're 2 or 3? Look, I'm not in the committee room, but I'll go by what Jerry Palm said last week when he was on AFR. He said LSU's a 3 and is at the bottom of the 3s. So in that, if you figure they're in that like 8 to 12 range, and if they're at the bottom of that, to get to a 2, not only do you have to leapfrog a handful of teams, but in so doing, you have to have nice wins. In fact, you have to have nice wins, but you also have to have other teams sort of fall back. So it's not easy to do. You want kind fast. Okay, I'll get kind fast. All right. Kind fast. Kind fast. Let's see. You gave it for a day. There you go. There's kind fast. Is my kid the only one that watches shows on Fast Forward? Does anybody else have children or grandchildren that watch shows on Fast Forward? Again, shout out to Brock for those just watching Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Awesome people. Appreciate them greatly for sponsoring Morning Scone. They've been great partners to us. So they have all the subspecialties. If you got any injuries or aches or pains, man, go see the docs over at Brock. And please like their Facebook page. That would be just a big help. It's something that they can, tangibly see. Okay, it's popping on the Facebook page. Those numbers or impressions are going up. So that would be super duper helpful. And of course, if you got aches and pains, go see them, man. I know. I've been to Brock a bunch. I had a neck injury, went to Brock, had an Achilles injury. They did my MRI there. Thank God it wasn't torn. Ugh. I was in a walking boot for about 2 weeks, but that was a severe strain. I think that was around like 2010 or 2011. Anyway, they're awesome. Great docs. Had back pain. Went and saw Chip Bankston over there. They're great. Brock, they're awesome. They're on Blue Bonnet. They got 5 locations, main locations on Blue Bonnet inside of the Surgical Specialty Center. You walk in on the first floor, and you walk in on the right, you're looking straight ahead right at it. Right past the elevators. Let's see. Maybe Giles could transfer to Bryant and give them a spark. Come on, bro. James Tyrone. Hoont Palmario. What's up, Hoont Palmario? Let's see. They should be able to make obvious calls like a travel when a player passes the ball to himself. Oh, my God. That was dreadful. How did they miss that? Oh, my God. Will Wade was apoplectic at that point. When every possession matters and the guy throws the ball in the air and catches it. We can laugh about it now because they won, but yeah. How accurate can the chain gains guys be when they're all in their 80s? That's true. Hi. You want to come sit on Dada's lap? Can I have a hug? Have a hug. Big block when Mommy wakes up. Hey, listen, after Dad's show, we are going to go to, where are we going to go?
The Awabasan.
Awabasan. We are going to go to Awabasan.
Coffee.
Well, Daddy's got coffee right here, see? Look. You went to Flamoncat yesterday. Flamoncat. Let's see. Cliff Nelson. The Tennessee player Williams seemed to be taking crap to Wade Wilson. To Wade Wilson? After the game, instead of shaking hands, anything to that? Will Wade? I don't think you mean Wade Wilson. Wow. What are you doing? What are you doing, crazy? Okay. I love you. Huh? Justin Gore said, Drew's in the hizzy. Drew's in the hizzy. Say hi. You want to say hi to everybody? Huh? Hi. Are we doing Dad's show? Okay. Carl the Cat. Is Will Wade the front runner for Coach of the Year? In the SEC? I mean, it's Rick Barnes or Will Wade, for sure. If LSU wins the SEC, oh yeah. Nationally, oh boy. Let's see. Watching this LSU basketball team is literally my only interest in any basketball. What's the matter? Okay, hold on. We're gonna go Vince your belly. Hold on. Hang on, y'all. I'm gonna go Vince his belly. Hang on. Sorry about that. That's like the equivalent of burping a baby. He gets all that air in his stomach. And so like you have to vent him through that tube. You hook up like a large syringe up to his tube and it sucks all the air out of there. Let's see, watching this LSU team. Oh, I read that one. Let's see. Bo Carter, get Drew an iPad. He deserves it. We do have an iPad, but he just gets like super obsessed with it. So he can't have it all the time. Maybe the officials are watching Big Block and Robert. Thomas Chapman, good morning. Craig Dugas, General Wade led the troops to victory. Craig Pullman, good morning. Jason Aguilar, what you think about LSU whipping up on Tennessee without Waters and Nas, scoring 1 point? Crazy. We've talked about that a little bit so far over the last hour. Jason talked about it a little bit. Yeah, crazy, man. Lawrence Robillard. Hey, Lawrence, man, I was watching the baseball game, and you had, I guess, tweeted a picture, and it popped up on the screen. Like, I guess whatever they show on the video board there at the box shows on the video stream. So I saw you, man, up there. Tom Guidros, Chris Kirkpatrick, Lori Prophet, good morning. Brian Robert, morning Scone is the envy of afternoon tea. He gets 6 viewers, and I am one out of pity. I just log on and lay my phone down and go do some honeydews. He's trying, man. He's trying. You got to start somewhere. Holly Whitestein. Whitstein. Holly Whitstein. Hey, Holly, good morning. Thanks for watching. Carlton Cisco, Tremont's our best player, period. Yeah, for sure. If you're talking about the Javante Tremont thing that I was talking about with Brandon earlier, it wasn't about who's the best player. It was about who should be bringing the ball up. And it was early in the season when Tremont was turning the ball over a lot, and then Wade benched him ultimately. I think Tremont is well, I don't think he is a better shooter than Javante. It's not even a question. And he's a really good facilitator. I like Javante's length, a little less careless with the basketball, and is just bigger, and so can create some driving lanes and finish at the rim. You saw that yesterday, which was really impressive. They're just different, different players. Let's see, Bo Carter, how many of the current basketball Tigers will be here next year? Well, Cavell's a senior, so he's gone. They've already announced that Darrell Edwards won't be back. So that's 2 spots. And then I think Tremont and Nas will both be gone. So they'll have 4 spots. In my opinion, they'll have 4 spots to fill. I think everybody else will be back. I think Days will be back. Emmett will be back. Javante. I'd be surprised if any of them. Marlon. I'd be surprised if any of them left. Skyler will have a decision to make. I mean, he could come back for his senior year. It's just rare that you see guys stay 4 years. But I'd love to see him play another year, man. I don't know if he'll have an NBA career, but if he wants to play international basketball, he'll be able to play for a long time, man. Or maybe he could go the G League route and end up sitting on somebody's bench. I mean, it's possible. I think, guys like Blakeney and Sampson, probably a little more athletic than Skyler, even though he's super athletic. But they went to the G League, dominated, and got themselves 2-way contracts in the NBA. So that could happen for him. But to answer your question, I think 4. Cavell's gone. Darrell Edwards, obviously, have already announced will be gone. And then I think Nas and Tremont are both gone. Meridoc, good morning. Great Tigers win. I'm tired of the Vols and Wildcat fans crying about biased calls. Oh, man. This is what fans do. It's no different than LSU fans complaining about the Texas A&M game or the Devin White targeting call. That's every fan base in every sport. If you lose, you complain about officials. Luke Best, good morning. Ben Giat, Tremont and Wade are not clicking. I don't know. I think Tremont's having a pretty good year. I really wish he had not taken that 3 at the end of regulation against Florida. But, yeah, you take the good with the bad with Tremont. Russell Hall. So, Matt, how do you watch the game next week without having Longhorn Network? Well, Russell, you do one of 2 things. You either get the Longhorn Network or you go to an illegal pirate website and you find the stream, which there's plenty of them. So, and if you just Google them, they're not hard to find. But you'll be able to find a stream of it somewhere. Because by and large, the internet's not regulated, and you can find whatever you want there, man. I learned that. I learned all about that in 2014 whenever he was in the hospital and we spent all the time in Houston. Every game that I tried to watch that you couldn't get in Houston, I had to just find a way to watch it. So, I mean, I'm on my laptop at the hospital trying to watch, LSU ULM basketball or whatever. So how do I watch it? Well, find a pirate site. that ripped the stream. It's just what you do. Astros fans have had to do that for a while too, in these parts anyway. I mean, it's like, don't get me started on this, but it's insane that I pay for the MLB extra innings package. I pay money to Major League Baseball to be able to watch all the games. But even still, in paying them money to get this special access that I can watch all these games, because I live in Baton Rouge, I can't watch the Astros. How stupid is that? You're forcing me to go do it illegally. Anyway, Brandon DeVille. Seems like without Tremont, offense really slowed down, and we've seen a lot more set offense. I think that was less Tremont. I think that was more Tennessee. It's hard to run after made baskets. You can't really run in transition. The other part of it, too, is Tennessee went to a zone in the second, late in the first half. And I'll tell you the one thing about the game in the first half that annoyed me. If there's one thing, and I think LSU played hard, there was one thing that annoyed me to death. With 10 minutes and 11 seconds to go in the first half, Javante was fouled and went to the free throw line because LSU got in the bonus. With 10 minutes and 11 seconds left in the first half, LSU went to the bonus. They did not shoot another free throw in the first half. That's when Tennessee went zone. LSU stopped attacking the basket. They started settling for threes, and that's when they went to that long scoring drought, just a bunch of empty possessions. I mean, that's the time where you've got them on the ropes. Keep attacking. Keep driving. Draw fouls. Get them in more foul trouble. Go to the free throw line. Do what you do exceptionally well. And they just didn't. they had an advantageous spot and just didn't take advantage. That was disappointing. Let's see. Brittany Oakwind, good morning. Richie, Wade is clicking. Get on the Wade train or get left at the station. Lawrence, thoughts on U High coach leaving all of a sudden? They had a change in the administration at U High. I think Chad's schedule was changing and stuff like that, so he was looking. I think I heard he interviewed at ULM for a position on staff up there as well. So I don't think it's terribly surprising. And you just graduated like the greatest class of talent in the history of Louisiana high school football, so not altogether surprising. Jason Aguilar, I don't think Waters would have scored 29 points, Jason. Not would have scored 29 points. Smart was on fire, driving to the goal. Kid's a stud. Maybe, but also Tremont's there. He probably creates a lot more other opportunities for other guys. So their games are different. That's all. You're fine. My internet cut out when you answered the Longhorn Network question. How do we watch the game if we don't have Longhorn Network? You find an illegal pirate. You either buy the cable package so where you get the Longhorn Network, or you illegally stream it. You find an illegal pirate stream site and you just stream the game illegally, which many of those networks force you to do. So I have Longhorn Network. I have Cox, so I have Longhorn with the sports tier. So I'll get it. I can watch it on cable here. And if you have that, you could also get it via the ESPN app, because ESPN owns Longhorn Network. So Eric Engelman, good morning. Justin Hutchinson, good morning. Robbie, good morning, man. Stephen Beach, good morning. Carlton, get ready to see more Darius Days too. Williams and Schofield are physically impressive. Days was physically bigger. Love Days' future with LSU. Yeah, I agree with you. And Wade even said after the Florida game that he should have played Darius more. He was one of only two guys with a positive in the plus minus after that game. He's been good energy off the bench, man. They've been fun. Brian Robert having a baby boy in April, looking for a name. Robert, Elmo Fast, Willie Fast, all great options. Indeed. And Kind Fast, which is Daniel Tiger neighborhood. It's great to be kind Fast. Derek Matthews, Stephen Robeek. What's up, Stephen? Do you feel LSU could win the Capital One Cup? No, that's from Alvino. No, Alvino, because you got to keep in mind, like, LSU just doesn't have enough sports. So schools like Stanford that have like 47 sanctioned sports, and it's like they have men's and women's lacrosse, and they've got water polo, and they like every single sanctioned sport, and they're good at all of them. Like those are the teams that win the Capital One Cup. Cade Wassan, what's up, CV? Good morning. Not sports related, but my daughter recently became lactose intolerant, and it's been like Linda Blair from The Exorcist. What is happening to this show? I hope your daughter's okay, though. Seriously. Sorry to hear that. Derek Morales, Mark Landry, Josh Petrie, good morning. Hunt says Emmett's one to watch. Where would Emmett go? I mean, look, if the kid has it in his mind that he wants to leave, I get it. I mean, I get it. Some guys do. But for Emmett Williams to leave would be nonsensical. I mean, unless if he's got an extenuating circumstance, which he might. I mean, like, I remember when Michael Ford left, and people are like, why is Michael Ford leaving? He could come back and be a bell cow. It's like, Michael Ford hated school. Like, he hated school. He just didn't want to be in school anymore. Like, he had to get away because he didn't want to be in school. So, okay. Trev Falk hated Nick Saban. Like, if Trev Falk if LSU had a different coach, Trev Falk would have stayed a fourth year. Eddie Kennison hated Jerry DiNardo. If but for Jerry DiNardo, Kennison would have come back for another year. Like, so there's always, a lot of times there's extenuating circumstances with guys when they make a decision to leave early that has nothing to do with where they're going to be drafted or if they're going to be drafted. Will Clapp last year. Will Clapp had injuries. He could have come back for a fifth year, but he had started. He had injuries. It's like, I'm not going to increase my draft stock anymore. I've already graduated. I've played 4 years, so he left. I mean, it's just, so maybe there's some of that with Emmett. We'll see, but that would suck if Emmett leaves. I just don't know. I just have no idea. Ben Giat, smart's good, but that mouth will get him in trouble. Dude, talk smack constantly. I don't mind it. I think you need that guy in every sport. You need that guy on your team. Now, and you have him in football too. You just don't see it because everybody's wearing face masks and eye guards, and you never see what guys are saying. But every team has them. I love Nora Jones for Ryan's wise, and if Terrio likes it, then keep it. Can't satisfy everyone. Thank you, Brian. I like that as well. It's a good point. Jason Bourgeois, Kenny Duron, good morning. We're almost wrapping up, y'all. Been a good show. Going like an hour already. Shout out to Brock, again, for those just joining Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Awesome peeps. 5 locations, 33 board-certified, fellowship-trained physicians, as it says on the sign. All the subspecialties. They are open on weekends as well, so after-hours care. So if you're out there weekend warrioring it this weekend, and you twist your ankle, you can get on by Brock. They'll take good care of you. Kyle Caballero. What's up, Kyle? Good to meet you, man. Good to see you on here. Met Kyle last night. I was waiting for dinner picked up a burger over at Burger Smith by the house. Let's see. Russell Hull, good morning. Brittany Delahousse, good morning. Neil Ripley. I knew we had one when Marshall Graves hit that 3. Okay, but seriously, how good do you feel for Marshall Graves? I mean, former walk-on, goes to practice every day, like extenuating circumstances with Tremont that he's giving you minutes, and you weren't deficient with him on the floor. I mean, not only did he hit the 3, which was huge, but defensively he was good. Like, they didn't go on a run with him on the floor, That was good to see, man. I felt really good for Marshall Graves. Brian Kling, good morning. Let's see, Preston, what's the team's biggest weakness that could result in losing to an Arkansas-type team again down the stretch? I don't think it's an Arkansas-type team. I think it's a Florida-type team. You even heard Wade mention that after the Florida game. He said, this is the type of team that's going to end our season. And he's not wrong. It's a team that's just oppressive defensively, and if you settle for shots, which LSU did against Florida, and you miss them, you can end up in a game like that. Dustin Cruel, good morning, or Cruel. Frankie Schmidt, Kirk Taylor, good morning. Dwight, what's really going on with Tremont? Sick versus Tennessee, LOL. I went over it a couple times, Dwight. I mean, Will Wade said before the game that he was getting IVs, or in the postgame that Tremont was getting IVs pregame, that he was sick, and doctors made the determination that he couldn't go. So he wanted to play, but is it that? I was also told concussion. Is it concussion? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, to miss that game, I get why people are skeptical. We'll find out. I mean, we'll find out in due time. If it's something deeper, we'll find out Tuesday when they play A&M. Trivia, who doesn't have Longhorns Network? I have it in Florida. My brother has it in California. You have to have a, it's just like, I know for Cox here, like you have to have the sports tier package to get it. That's why. So like if you don't have cable, I guess you could just go get it on the ESPN app. Don't get Metallica fired up over Napster about illegal streaming. Which was so stupid, by the way. Frankie Schmidt, good morning, Scone. Great weekend for LSU sports all the way around, for sure. I'm excited about baseball today as well. 2 o'clock first pitch. Hopefully we have a nice day in Baton Rouge. Get to see Jaden Hill again, see if he can follow up his performance from last week with what he does today. And I'll tell you what's interesting is the Air Force last week just stunk offensively. I think they scored two runs in the first 2 games They scored 2 runs in one game, were shut out in the other. So that wasn't a great offensive team, but Jaden Hill was super impressive, and he was efficient. Bryant is a miserable defensive team, and they can't pitch a lick, but they have hit the ball a little bit this weekend. So maybe a little better offensive challenge for Jaden Hill today, which would be fun to see. Richie Burt, Matt agreed with Jordy yesterday when he said Will Wade stuck the landing. Loved him addressing the student section and the fans. Hoping his appreciation creates more support. How can you not want to attend and support this guy? So fun to have coaches that love their university. It's true. Well said. Hi. Are you coming to see Daddy? Big Block. Never heard of it. What? Big Block. When Mommy wakes up. Hey, listen, we're almost done with Dad's show. After Dad's show, we are going to get dressed. Okay, get dressed. And go for a ride in the car to Awabasan. And then when we come home, Mommy will be awake and you can watch Big Block. Okay? 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 Oh, let's see. Anyway. So, but Russell, to stream it on Roku, on the ESPN app, like you have to have that cable package, that cable tier package, right? So like when you log into your ESPN app, like if you have Cox or whichever, it asks you for all that credential login. Like you have to have the tier that has Longhorn Network to be able to get that channel on the app, if that makes sense. Craig, any idea what's the record for top 10 wins in the regular season for LSU basketball? No idea. That's a Todd Polite's question, or I could just go look it up on the in the media guide. Longhorns a good team. We'll steamroll them. Longhorns lost to ULL 8-5. Trivia. Thanks, Matt, for promoting illegal activity. It's actually not illegal. It's just a pirate stream. You can't regulate the internet. I mean, the company that has the rights could be pissed or maybe seek action against whoever's stealing their stream, but a lot of times it's an international company, or an international website, like a .eu or something like that, like a European website. So, okay, what you gonna do? But Joey DiStefano, what's up, Joey DiStefano? Brandon, I think Emmett's a 3 to 4 year guy. He's not going to be a 3 to 4 year guy. Like, you may think developmentally, and I may agree with you, but guy was a 5-star. 5 stars don't have eyes on staying in college for 3 or 4 years. They just don't. So, should he be? Probably. He won't be. I think you could maybe get him for another year. Chris Roy, Travis McGraw. I mean, Johnny O'Brien staying 3 years was a massive upset. Big Block. Never heard of it. Big Block. I love you. I love you. Okay, look, we're almost done. Ready? We're gonna go rapid fire. John Boudreaux. Hey. I think Nas needs 1 more year. You're not gonna get it. Carlton, Cisco, heart skipped a beat when I heard this in the background. Lee McCaffrey, good morning. Huh? Hey, what is that, baby? No. Listen, you have to be sweet. Listen, use your words. It's okay. Listen, use your words. Use your words. Use your words.
Daisy's house.
Daisy's house.
H-E-B.
And we go to H-E-B when we stay at Daisy's house. Very good. And you ride the elevator at Texas Children's. Yes, you do. Very good. Okay, you can be sweet. Thank you. Be sweet. Don't hit Daddy in the head. Lee McCaffrey, good morning.
DB. DB.
TP?
DB.
DB.
DB. TB.
TP. TB? TV?
Go from more.
Go to Fresh Market. Let's see. Brandon Stewart, what's up? Wait, listen. Okay. Ralphie, yep. You're gonna watch Ralphie when we go see Daisy. Larry Cavalier, good morning. Jean-Pierre, good morning. Jason Rogers, good morning. Meridoc, how about on ESPN Plus? If you pay for ESPN Plus, it might be. I'll look it up and see. I'll give you all an answer. Last time LSU beat 2 top 10 was 1970. There you go. Reddit is your friend when it comes to borrowed streams. There you go, Craig. Thank you. Great win. Bo Carter, you missed a chance to plug your Volkswagen tie-in when you told Drew how we're going for a drive. Promote everything all the time. That's true. We could go on my Volkswagen CC. However, we could not, because I could have lied to you, but I won't. My Volkswagen CC, which has his car seat, is at the dealership because they let me drive for the weekend a Volkswagen Atlas, which is a beautiful vehicle, but I don't have Drew's car seat in there, so I'll have to take Erica's car, so I won't be in my Volkswagen. Sean Pumphrey, good morning. Mark Lacey, good morning. Matt Lusto, ESPN app shows LSU third in the SEC. You know why? Because ESPN hates LSU. Chris Roy would have win for the Tigers, one of the biggest in the last 20 years. That's fair. I mean, of course, you had the Final Four run. You've had NCAA tournament teams. But it's been a rarity that they've had top-ranked teams come into the PMAC and LSU get a win, especially when it's not named Kentucky. So, yeah, huge. Hong Tam win. Do you think the LSU will win the SEC outright? Nope, I don't. Shelby, good morning. This damn carnival season is going to be the death of me. Don't say that, man. Shelby, how did Marceau look last night? He was good early, but LSU got up 11-1, and then you could tell like the marching orders were, hey, just go throw it over the plate and let's get out of here. And then he got touched up a bit. I think in the third, he gave him 4 or 5 runs and 4 runs in the third or the fourth. It was fine. I mean, I wish it were had it been a more competitive game and you could have seen him lock in. We could have learned, seen a little bit more, but he wasn't as sharp. But it was 11-1 in the second or third inning. It's what it was. Was Tremont sick versus Florida? That's the word. Craig Dugas still say LSU beating Duke in the tournament was LSU's greatest win of all time. I don't know that I could go greatest win of all time, especially when you've. Think on that. I mean, it's on a short list. You can make a case. Okay, I got to get out of here. He's pushing chairs. I think he's ready to go to. He's pushing chairs now. This is where we are in the show. Drew is pushing chairs. What are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Chairs are on the move. Shelby, expectations for Hill. Did Walker pitch? I want to see Hill be efficient, get through 5, and Walker pitched on Friday. Hit the first inning he pitched. He got through it in 7 pitches, and then the second inning of relief, he only got 2 outs and got touched up pretty good. So bummer. What?
Big block.
Big block. You want to say bye, Dad Show?
Big block.
Big block. All right, hey, we're gonna finish Dad Show and we're gonna go for a ride in the car. To Awabasons, can you say bye, Dad Show?
Bye.
Say bye, Dad Show.
Bye, Dad Show.
Blow a kiss.
Mwah.
Bye.
Mwah.
Mwah.
Yeah.
Bye, y'all. Have a good day.